What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will. You know this guy. We're down here in Key West, heading out on Aaron's boat. If you don't know that guy, that's Aaron Young, Key West waterman. We're heading out on the boat. No real agenda, but as you can tell by those reels, we might have a little bit of an agenda. I don't want to spoil it though, but we're heading out now, and I think we're looking at a very long day of fishing. Nothing in sight except for this guy. I was promised a slicker. It's not quite a slicker, but I think it'll lay down even more by the afternoon. And we...
Current.
What?
So that means there's current.
That means there's current. Which you need for what we're doing today. If you haven't guessed yet, still not going to tell you, but you'll figure it out soon. Oh,
Turn towards the boat.
He's on.
Turn towards the boat.
Oh.
Turn right towards the boat. Hit that button, Will. Hit red button. Hold it. Oh, I fucking missed him.
Keep going?
Yeah, just hold that button.
Okay.
Watch the number.
Yeah.
Got him. I can see the dart is on the far side of the head. I know he's good. See the dart there on the top? Went all the way through. So we've let him go probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Hopefully the nerves don't come back. Little butterball. Beautiful fish. Oh my gosh. Thank you, buddy. Dude, are they not just magnificent? Like gladiators of the sea. There's not a lot of fish out there better than these.
Holy smokes.
It's a swordfish.
That was chaos. So these guys got to be 47?
Yeah.
47 from the tip of the mouth to the fork of the tail. This guy is, oh, he's turning purple. This thing is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But that was total chaos. That was amazing. Definitely for all the action. Hopefully you've watched it on Aaron's channel. If not, go over to Aaron's channel, Key West Waterman, and we're gonna figure out something. We'll do maybe 2 cooks off of this guy. Something weird and something a little more pedestrian. Beautiful fish. So things were definitely easier for me, kind of videoing Aaron, so I put my episode aside as far as the fishing goes, and like I said, head over to Key West Waterman's channel to see the fishing because it is really good, very chaotic. So rather than kind of focus on having my camera, his camera, the fish and everything else, we just kind of focused the fishing for his channel. But we're gonna get this fish iced down, and I'm gonna start thinking of those recipes.
Actually, if you can help me get to right here, we'll go on this side.
Phew. So to fit into the ice chest, we had to just cut the bill so that it would fit. And now what we're gonna check. So one of the things I forgot, I fly out early tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna take a big chunk of the swordfish, take it on the plane and take it up to New York and actually cook one of the meals up there. But one of the things I'm interested in is the heart. So Aaron's gonna cut that out now. If it's not super damaged, we're gonna try to cook that actually.
Do this without covering it with stuff. Oh. That is like a liver. I'm afraid if I go in here.
We'll see.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I think you found the heart.
That looks like the heart.
I want to see if it's even big enough to cook.
This is pretty small.
Oh, that might work out in our favor. It's a little small.
A little small. That is most certainly the heart, though.
Yeah.
Should you just raw dog it right now?
No.
Don't be scared.
All right. I think, yeah, we're going to try it. We're going to treat it exactly like a beef heart or a deer heart. We're going to marinate it, slice it thin, and then grill it really quick. And we'll see how it is. It might be amazing. It might be really bad. And then, like I said, we're going to pack up a big chunk of the swordfish, jump on the plane tomorrow. We'll be in New York, and we'll cook that second meal in New York. We'll see how this one goes. All right, what do you have? You got the liver. Whoa.
Shaped like a Batman heart.
I think we're doing heart and liver. Let's go.
It's a nice one.
That
Juicy.
is. Yeah.
Juicy.
All right.
Is that good enough? Think that'll feed Mama Clams
Oh yeah.
for a little while? So I'm gonna let the rest of this fish sit on ice overnight. Just like everything, I like, even swordfish, I like it to rest. But like I said, Will is getting on a plane at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so we're gonna send him and his mama some fish. Man, I bled that fish and there's still a lot of blood coming out.
So I cleaned up the heart, and it has no fish smell to it whatsoever at all. Not even a little bit. That's really shocking. But it was the two parts of the heart, but this was the only one that was firm enough. And I sliced it in half. You can see there. So what I'm gonna do now, because we mentioned earlier, I'm going to New York tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to cook anything tonight. I'm vacuum sealing everything, and it's all going to come to New York. And this isn't really a substantial meal or anything, but I'm really, really interested to see how it comes out. In case we get a larger one, we can harvest the heart out of that as well. So I'm going to make a marinade, vacuum seal this, and then tomorrow in New York, we'll grill it off. So I have a little bit of fish sauce, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, some A1 sauce. I could just do Worcestershire and other things, but we'll beat it to the punch here. Not too much. And a little bit of hot sauce. Now, in one of the restaurants I worked in, we would vacuum seal all of the hanger steak with the marinade. And the reason why is because it absolutely drives that marinade into the meat. So that is the idea behind this. See if that seals. Good. All right. So that is going to New York. You should recognize this kitchen if you follow along. So I made it up to New York. The swordfish, more importantly, a lot of swordfish made it up to New York. So I have those. If anyone's interested in knowing how I transported those, super simple. I kept some of them unfrozen, and then I froze a couple of other hunks, put them into a cooler, a zipper cooler, and the frozen pieces acted as the ice packs, so there was no liquid or anything involved, so these went right through, but had it as my carry-on. But these are for our second recipe today. Our first recipe is what I have here, which is the liver. One of the greatest things that my mother makes is chicken liver pate, and it is unreal how good it is. So I am going to make swordfish liver pate and try to mimic her chicken liver, and then later we'll have that as an appetizer to our second dish. So I'm actually going to rinse this in the sink just to get any excess blood or anything off. Okay, we're going to put this aside and cut up all of our veg and everything else. I have here 2 shallots. And this doesn't have to be chopped fine because it's all going into the blender once we have it cooked down. So I'm going to do a real rough chop on all of this. And don't worry if pate is not your thing, if liver is not your thing, we have a second recipe coming right after this, which I think everyone will enjoy. I stopped by our local seafood market, which is really good here in Huntington, Long Island, and picked up some mussels and clams. I would like to forage for the clams, but for today, because just got off the plane, I ran to the seafood market just to make things easier. But like I said, just a rough chop on these, and then we're going to do the same with an onion and some garlic clove. And then just 2 garlic clove. And then I have here shiitake mushroom. This will give a nice earthy flavor. Again, slice those up, nothing crazy. And then I have some rosemary. Get that ready. And some fresh thyme. It's always nice when the stalks of the thyme are nice and thick so that you can actually drag your fingers down them to get the leaves off instead of when you go to do it and they just fall apart. Now, my mother's chicken liver pate is like the most involved recipe. It's got so many ingredients, and it was actually my grandmother's. And my grandmother handed it down to my mother, and dare I say it, I'm sorry, Grandma, but my mother's is unbeatable. And I don't know what she does different than my grandmother used to do, but you can't even come close to replicating it. I've tried, and I've watched her do it, and I can't, it's never the same. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I've followed the recipe exactly. I've watched her. I'm gonna have to videotape her, bring it to the people at NASA to dissect it and figure it out. Okay, and then our liver, we are going to cut into also just dice-sized pieces so that it cooks evenly, but we don't have to go crazy with chopping it up. And again, it has no fishy, it actually has no smell at all. It's really wild. So I think this is going to turn out. I've done this before with wahoo liver, and that turned out absolutely beautiful. Okay, now that we got everything chopped, let's move over to the pan. Now that everything has released a bit of its moisture, I'm going to start adding my salt, some cracked black pepper, and a little bit of ground mustard. And I'm going to keep everything moving. I don't necessarily mind if it gets a little bit brown. I just don't want it to burn. But a little bit of color is not a bad thing. It'll add a lot of flavor to that pate. Once the mushrooms are cooked down, I'm going to add in the liver and brown that. And here I have, it's just a table white. Keep that aside. There you go. So all of that on the bottom, all that brown, when we pour the wine in, because the wine is acidic, that's going to take all that up. That's called deglazing the pan, and that is where all of our flavor is. A little bit of seasoning on our pate, on our liver rather. Now I have my thyme and rosemary. Now we add our white wine. So everything that was on the bottom is all coming up now. Oh, look at that. That smells amazing. All right, now we'll let this simmer probably about 3-4 minutes until that wine reduces by half, and then we'll move over to the blender. Okay, we are reduced by half. We're gonna let this cool just for a couple of minutes because right now it is ripping hot. I'm actually gonna put it in the fridge to cool down and then we'll blend it. This is cooled down just enough. Now we will add what I would like to call a healthy amount of butter. Now your pate consistency will also change if you put in ice cold butter or room temp butter. I want room temp, that'll make it a little bit more smooth. Now we'll give that a little taste just to see if we need any seasoning adjustment, but I don't think so. Wow. That is good. Okay. This is going to go into the fridge to completely set up. I'm going to put it in a container, and it's got to go in the fridge for at least about an hour or so. And then that'll be ready to spread on some baguette slices. Okay, so while our pate is cooling down and setting up, we're going to get everything ready for our bouillabaisse. And all I need is a couple cloves of garlic. If the garlic would like to cooperate, that would be nice. Now all of this, I'm actually going to chop up pretty fine. And then I have here just mixed Kalamata and green olives. Chop those up. Those don't have to be chopped too fine. We won't go crazy with them. And last, we have that other half of Spanish onion, and that we will chop fine. Okay, those are our 3 base ingredients, and now we're gonna cube up the swordfish. All right, want the skin off. And we're just gonna cut this into cubes. Bloodline and all. Okay, we'll put this aside. All right, before we cook our bouillabaisse, let's make our little appetizers. And I know you're probably thinking that I forgot about the heart. I did not. We're gonna sear the heart, slice it, put our pate, and then the heart on top. So cut that open. Definitely wouldn't say that it's pretty. Going to put on top, I'll be honest, I'm going to leave it on the side, a little bit of acidity and sweetness to cut the richness. Okay. We're going to eat this and then we'll get started on. All right, for those of you that don't know, this is Mama Clams, Carol. For those of you that do know, the welcome face that you guys ask about a lot, so here she is. And you can tell how tan I am. This is stuck in the wintry New York. Okay, so I told them about your legendary chicken liver pate. Right. So this is not going to be like that, but it's an ode to Mama Clams.
I will wipe my recipe from my mind.
Okay, perfect.
And
Well,
my
don't do that.
No, and
We
my
need
palate,
that. Okay.
I should say from my palate.
We need that recipe. And then I have seared swordfish heart, which I think is going to blow your mind, actually. I did a marinade in it. We just did a quick sear. So I will let you have, I will say first things, but I did take it.
I've never eaten this. It's chewy,
Mm-hmm.
mild flavor, really.
Did you say steak like?
The flavor, steak? Actually, yes, you're right, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to suggest it to you.
Not the consistency, but yes, the
Yeah.
flavor. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's chewy in a bad way.
No,
No. Well,
No.
when you say chewy, people picture overcooked, but
no, no. It has a thickness to it.
almost like calamari.
Yes,
It almost has the same
yes.
kind of texture as calamari, but yeah, it's good. Yeah. Would you think that came from a fish?
No,
Me neither.
no.
That's pretty good. It is good. All right.
But it's a tough life down there, so I guess that mixture of
Okay, now we're gonna go in for the pate. I put a little relish on it.
See that? It's very pretty.
Okay, cheers.
Very smooth. Not thick.
No.
And a very mild taste, but satisfying. Yeah, very nice. And the relish is a nice addition.
But again, not fishy.
Mm-mm.
I would never place this as a fish organ.
No.
Not fishy at all. Again, doesn't come close to yours, but good.
I mean, the baguette is nice, but I think I would like it on something because the baguette is crusty.
Yeah,
And I think I would like to have the focus more on,
it's getting a little lost.
yeah,
Okay.
that type.
Which that even tells you what a mild flavor it
Yeah.
is, that the baguette is taking it
The
over.
crust of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops. All right. All right.
thank you.
Yeah, well, now we're gonna cook the main course. This was our appetizer. Let's get on the main course. Those two are very good to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very nice.
I like it.
Very unexpected, especially I've never eaten
The
a fish
heart.
heart before.
Me neither.
I don't think I've eaten the heart of any animal.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a surprise, actually, the texture of it.
Yeah,
and
the
taste.
texture is actually like deer heart. It's very similar, like venison heart, surprisingly.
Okay, I've never had that either.
All right, let's get on to the bouillabaisse. A little bit of olive oil. Now our chopped onion, garlic, and olives. A little salt to get everything to start sweating. Now a little crushed red pepper. And throw in my clams. A bit of cracked black pepper. Now we want to give the clams a little bit of time because then we're going to throw in the mussels. The mussels are going to cook probably in about 3 to 4 minutes. The clams take a little bit longer. So as long as we have them in there first and get them nice and hot, everything should cook relatively at the same time and we won't overcook anything. Now we go in with the mussels. Now we're going to add a bit of red wine. We're going to turn the heat up and we're going to wait until that wine cooks off, all the alcohol in the wine. And the best way to tell whether or not it cooked off is the steam coming up is the alcohol. And when you put your nose over it and you smell, you can actually feel it singeing your nose. So you want to give it a little bit of time. See, this is perfect. Our clams are just starting to open up, and our mussels are going to be right behind. About another minute and that alcohol will be cooked off. And there we go. Now we're going to add half a can, a little bit less, maybe a third of a can of crushed tomatoes. And add our swordfish on top. And then I have over here fresh oregano. Lid goes on, we go down to low, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Now, one of the other things that I do like to do is, in case certain things are cooking faster than others, you can pull them out just so that nothing ends up overcooked. So it may seem tedious pulling them out as they open, but trust me, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, now I'm going to let this boil and cook down just a little bit, maybe about 2 minutes, and then we're going to spoon it onto our plates. All right.
Okay. Are you filming? Or?
Yeah, I'm filming.
Oh, okay. All right.
The swordfish chunks are mixed in there. They probably sunk down to the bottom.
Very tangy
I put lemon.
sauce, but also I'm feeling a little heat.
Yeah, there's red chili flakes in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm used to cooking with Aaron and Madeline. We like things pretty spicy, but
That was a surprise. I did not expect that.
you might have gotten one chili flake in particular. Yeah, it's a little spicy. Good though.
Mussels are nice and
All right,
tender, delicious.
Eat a piece of swordfish. That's the star of the dish, really.
There it is.
Okay. Perfectly cooked. That's perfect. So, like I was saying, it's important as you take it out, and if some of the mussels are opened or whatever, don't be afraid to pull the things that are done cooking out into a separate dish. Because if you wait for everything to cook through, you're going to have overcooked, very unpleasant swordfish or rubbery mussels or whatever it is. So I do that a lot. It's a little more work, but it is worth it. And that sauce is good. It is definitely a little spicy, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad for coming from Key West, huh?
Very nice.
That swordfish was swimming yesterday.
Very nice.
All right, guys. If you like this episode, hit like, hit subscribe. Like I said before, go over to Aaron's channel to watch the full catch of the swordfish. It was chaotic, and I really just wanted to pay attention on filming that for him. Remember, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, a new episode of Cooking with Clams. We are going to eat this, as much of it as we can.
I think I'm going to finish my bowl,
Okay.
as big as it is. I mean, it really is delicious, Will.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you all.